October 5th was the date that I met AJ Lee. And if you didn't know, she is my GOAT. She was more than just your traditional diva at the time. She was a professional wrestler. She was a wrestling fan. She was an outcast. She was an oddball. She was a nerd. She was into video games. She was into wrestling, comic books, and she was someone that I related to. She was someone that was there during a time where I really needed her because I was trying to find my identity at the time. I also grew up tomboyish. I also grew up playing video games. I also did read a couple of comic books here and there, but I wasn't heavily into them. The only thing that was constant in my life was professional wrestling. I fell in love with it at a young age, and I didn't continuously keep up with it every single week. There were times where I wasn't watching, but it's something that was always a part of me, so I did get right back into it. CM Punk helped me get back into it. AJ Lee was the main reason why I did get back into it. So when I first saw her, and I knew she was a nerd because every single theme song that played, I was playing with her.
Teddy Long?
Teddy Long is correct!
She's a nerd.
In my TV, yelling, they not know these theme songs. I come from a Latino background, and I know a lot of us grew up sort of the same way. You know, we had a very, very harsh mother. Mental health does not exist in Latino households. AJ Lee also comes from a Latino background. She's also little with long black hair, and we're not that far apart from age. She's only 5 years older than me. So when I pulled up to meet her, I felt like everything was perfect and this was my destiny. I was supposed to meet her that day. Because of my lifestyle, because I'm just so busy, I don't really find out about things. So my thumbnail editor, which by the way, if you ever need some cool thumbnails, you should really go check him out. He's the one that sent it to me, and he said, look who's going to be at LA Comic Con, you should go. Because I struggle with mental health, because I struggle with so many emotions, and I overthink, and I'm insecure, and there's a lot of things that happen in this noggin of mine before I can actually go and do something. I can execute a decision. I can say, okay, I'm going to do it. And I don't have to think about it, but then leading up to it, I'm a solid wreck. But I will say, I am the kind of person who just goes and does things. I think it's extremely important to just do things that may scare you, or do things even if you're not prepared, because you still learn from them. So my one concern was, well, it's at LA Comic Con. I've been to it before. I know how parking is. Parking is super freaking hard to find. And if you do find, you are going to have to pay at least like $30, $40 minimum for parking. So her meet and greet was from 11 to 1. I didn't know how many people were going to be there to see her, but I knew that I wanted to get there early so I can wait in line. I was looking for parking around 10:15. I probably did like 2 circles, and then I see somebody leaving from their space, and I had to ask just to make sure, because I was like, oh my God, did I just find this amazing parking that I'm going to pay? It was street parking with the little, with the post thingy where you put quarters in. So I only paid $1.75 or something, for parking, which I was like, this is really clutch. So I got my parking spot. I started walking, getting closer to 11, and I was like, oh my God, like, I don't know how long the line is going to be. Like, I should have got here earlier. I was in my head. And then I had trouble even finding where her booth was, because I had to go and get my actual badge that they give you for Comic-Con. And that was over here. And then AJ Lee's booth was all the way over here. So I'm like panicking because Bad Blood was at 3 p.m. my time. I'm speed walking. I have to be like, I was like freaking zigzagging through everybody. When I reached her booth, because she was in the 800s, I saw the 900 aisle, and I was like, cool, I'm going to make a left turn here so I could go to the 800 aisle and I could find her booth. As soon as I made that left turn, I see her and I see Amy Garcia, and I see that they just finished taking a picture with them. I was going to pass to see if there was a line, and as I'm passing, they both look at me, make eye contact, smile, and they're just like, hi. And I'm just like, hi. And I didn't have anything prepared. I'm that kind of person. I just kind of go with the flow. I was wearing my CM Punk shirt. She looks at my shirt, and then she was like, I like your shirt. Thanks for representing my baby. And I'm so flustered. I was hyperventilating before I even got there. I finally got there, and I was like, hi, I'm in my 30s and I don't know what to say. I don't know, like, I'm without words. And I started crying. Like, I just started crying. And then she was like, don't worry. Like, I'm in my 30s. She's also in her 30s. And we also can't communicate ourselves. She was so welcoming. I could not find words. I just kept crying. And then she was like, what's your name? I said Minerva, and she was like, Minerva, you're really sweet. She hugged me. She sort of started tearing up too, because I tried to find the words to tell her, and I just told her how much she meant to me as I'm bawling my eyes out. And I'm like, you were that person that was there for me when nobody else was, because you were the definition of somebody who I was at the time, and somebody who just wanted to break out, and somebody who wanted to do all these big things but didn't know how to because of her limited resources, and just because she was an outcast. Like, cause I grew up being a fucking weirdo, you know, like I was an ugly duckling too. Like I wasn't cool whatsoever. I also thanked her for all of her mental health work, and the whole experience was really good. I wish I could tell you word for word. I wish I could have recorded it, but I went by myself, and that was the only thing that I really went there for. And I did tell her, I'm so flustered because then now I have to go rush back home because Bad Blood starts at 3. And then she was just like, I think my baby's opening up the show, so send good juju to him. And I was just like, I will. She offered to take a picture with me. As soon as I walked away, I realized there was an entire line beside her. There was that short line. It was like a fast lane or something. And then if you walked a little further, there was another line. When I tell you that I'm not the kind of person to cut, I am the biggest pussy when it comes to stuff like that. Social etiquette is extremely important to me. You know, like I like to hold doors. I don't really like to talk loud on the phone in public. I'm very aware of my surroundings, and I don't like to do stuff. I know I find shit annoying all the time with people because I'm just like, you not have any social awareness of anything. I'm not that kind of person. And if I knew that I was cutting and she was trying to say hi, I would have been like, I'll see you. I'm going to go in the back of the line. Like, I would have been like that, but I didn't know. I really did not know. I felt like shit after I realized, oh my God, I just cut. I didn't do it on purpose. Everything just happened the way that I did. And everything was extremely meant to be. Because like I said, I just turned a corner. I saw them and I was going to see if there was a line, but they both were like, hi. I was like, I can't even put into words how everything perfectly aligned for me. I found parking just in time, and parking right there should cost more than $1.25. I was able to get back home at a decent time and get ready for my Bad Blood stream. And then the next day when I woke up, I saw that she reposted me. I saw what she said, and it's something that being in your 30s and still looking up to somebody that you looked up to when you were growing up. I wasn't a kid when I was looking up to her. I was like 16, 17, or probably 19. My timeline is wrong, but wrestling is so important because although these are fictional characters, although they are mega stars and they're portraying a certain individual that's probably an embellishment of who they are or just the opposite of who they are, that doesn't mean that they're not there being with some sort of attachment towards themselves. I feel like if you have a certain work, a certain piece, even with actresses or actors, there's still some sort of embodiment that is there with you. And then you see them, you meet them, they're everything you thought they would be. Whatever you see, you sort of do see who they are as a person. And I'm so happy that my hero is sweet. She was kind. She was caring. She was everything that I thought she would be. Don't let people talk crap about you crying over wrestling. Don't let people put you down because you just love the sport of professional wrestling where it gives you emotions. You should be feeling emotions. It's like a TV show. It's like a movie. It's like if you're reading a book. It's like a story. It's like a sad story being told to you, but you're not experiencing it yourself. You are human and you are allowed to feel your emotions. I think people that make fun of people for having emotions because they're watching something scripted or fake, those people are dead inside. And I would not want to be dead inside because I met my hero. I cried. I was barely able to speak. And now I've been officially reposted by her and by CM Punk. two people that got me back into wrestling when I wanted an escape. But it is something I love. I love professional wrestling. So when there's tribalism and people hate a certain company because it's not their company, or they just want to shit on everything, it does affect me mentally because I love professional wrestling so much. And there's things I don't like, but I'm never going to be like, shit sucks or you guys are stupid. Let's be good people. Bye.